Have you ever found yourself questioning the purpose of your life, wondering if there's something deeper calling to you beyond the daily grind, the routines, and the expectations others place on you? Sometimes, it feels like life has become a series of tasks, a treadmill of responsibilities where each day bleeds into the next and you can't quite pinpoint why you're doing it all. It's as if we're caught up in a machine going through the motions but rarely pausing to consider what truly brings us alive. Most of us start with a sense of possibility, maybe a dream or a feeling that life has something special in store for us. Yet somewhere along the way, that spark often gets buried under layers of expectations and societal pressures. We find ourselves in jobs that may not inspire us, accumulating possessions that, while comforting, fail to satisfy on a soul-deep level. And then there's the pressure to meet standards, expectations set by family, friends, society, or even ourselves. We strive to be successful, accomplished, or good enough, but often these labels feel hollow when we consider what they mean for us personally. Imagine what it would be like if instead of living by the standards set by others, you could live according to your own unique vision. What would you do differently? How would you spend your time, your energy? So often our lives are consumed by the pursuit of things that deep down we know are temporary: possessions, social approval, career titles. We might chase the next promotion, the latest gadget, or the perfect image, believing that each new accomplishment or possession will bring lasting joy. But time and again, these things only bring a brief sense of satisfaction before the next goal or expectation appears. This cycle, the endless chase for what society deems valuable, often keeps us from connecting with the deeper meaning we crave. It's as if we're so busy gathering things and achievements that we overlook the treasures within us, the ones that make life truly rich. We might feel moments of achievement or pride, yet they pass, and the feeling of longing returns, whispering that there's more to life than checking off boxes on someone else's list. The truth is, when we pause and really think about why we're here, it's unlikely that we'll find our purpose in an endless cycle of working, accumulating, and meeting external standards. Beneath the surface, our souls hunger for something more profound, a life of connection, purpose, and authenticity. We're not here just to follow a routine or to achieve the goals society has laid out for us. Each of us has a unique path, a calling that resonates deeply within, one that can't be satisfied by simply accumulating or achieving according to the world's standards. Yet it's easy to get caught in the rush, to focus on the temporary highs of success and the thrill of acquiring something new, only to realize that these are merely shadows of true fulfillment. In quiet moments, when we allow ourselves to step back, a gentle truth emerges. We were born for more than the endless race. We're here to live fully, to express our unique gifts, and to experience the richness of life in all its dimensions. When you consider your life from this perspective, a shift begins. You start to see that genuine fulfillment doesn't come from chasing temporary goals or living up to others' expectations. Instead, it comes from aligning with your deeper purpose, from discovering and honoring the things that truly matter to you. This shift isn't always easy. It requires courage to look within, to question the path we're on, and to be willing to redefine success in a way that resonates with our own souls. So ask yourself, what if you could live a life that's not just about surviving or meeting standards, but one that's truly fulfilling? What would it mean to pursue a life where your soul feels at peace, where each day brings a sense of purpose, and where you feel connected to something greater than the race for possessions or achievements? Perhaps in these questions, you'll find that the life you're truly meant to live is waiting just beneath the surface for you to recognize it. Many people fall into the cycle of striving for external achievements, following a path that seems set by others, parents, society, peers, chasing titles and possessions in hopes of finding validation, security, or even love. It's natural. We're conditioned to believe that each rung climbed on the ladder of success will bring us closer to a complete and fulfilled life. But as we pour more of ourselves into this endless pursuit, it often feels like the finish line keeps moving, and we're left questioning if any of it is truly ours. We're taught early on that happiness lies in certain milestones, a stable job, a certain income, a home, and maybe the latest gadget or car. Society tends to create an image of success, a checklist of goals that supposedly lead to a well-lived life. But are these truly reflective of our inner needs and deepest desires, or have they simply become measures that society has prescribed for everyone, regardless of their unique dreams and spirit? Imagine a person who has followed the expected route, dutifully collecting achievements, amassing possessions, and climbing the ranks of their profession. They seem to have everything they once believed would make them happy, yet there is an emptiness lurking beneath the surface. What's missing, they might wonder, when they've done everything they were supposed to do? The truth is that many of us lose sight of our own definitions of fulfillment, unknowingly sacrificing our passions, dreams, and even our authenticity to fit into a mold that was never truly meant for us. It's easy to see why we might confuse accomplishments and possessions for genuine happiness. After all, each small victory, a promotion, a new car, a bigger house, comes with its own brief moment of joy, a burst of satisfaction. But these moments are temporary, like quick sparks that fade almost as soon as they appear. The excitement of something new or the pride in achieving a goal fades, leaving us on the hunt for the next fix, the next milestone to check off. This endless cycle of seeking momentary satisfaction becomes a trap, masking the deeper, lasting happiness that can only come from living a life aligned with our true selves. When we focus solely on accumulating or achieving according to someone else's vision, we lose touch with the things that genuinely nourish our souls. True joy, the kind that lingers and grows over time, often comes from connection, purpose, and authenticity. These are the parts of life that society's checklist rarely emphasizes because they're harder to quantify, harder to present in a way that's universally appealing. And yet, they're the elements that bring the most fulfillment and depth to our lives. What's heartbreaking is how common this cycle is. So many people reach the so-called peak of success, only to look around and wonder why they still feel so unfulfilled. This disillusionment often comes from having spent years striving to meet standards that aren't really meaningful to them. These standards might look good from the outside, but inside, they're like empty shells, missing the core that brings true happiness and satisfaction. It's not easy to break away from the path laid out by societal expectations. It requires courage to step off the beaten track, to question whether we're pursuing goals that actually matter to us. Yet, if we don't take this step, we risk spending our entire lives accumulating possessions and accomplishments that only bring fleeting satisfaction. There's so much more out there, so much depth, meaning, and fulfillment waiting for us if we're willing to look beyond society's checklist and listen to what our souls truly crave. From the very beginning, each of us is born with a sense of worth that doesn't depend on anything we do, achieve, or own. This worth is simply part of who we are, as inherent as our breath. Yet, from a young age, we start hearing messages that tell us otherwise, that to truly be worthy, we must accomplish certain things, reach specific milestones, or own particular possessions. We're led to believe that worth is something to be earned, something we must prove to the world rather than something that simply is. The world around us starts to define us by what we can show or display, and slowly, this narrative takes root, shaping how we see ourselves and how we measure our value. As adults, it's easy to fall into the trap of measuring our worth by titles, possessions, and accolades. Each success can feel like a small boost to our self-esteem, a nod of approval from society that makes us feel valuable for a moment. But what happens when these achievements don't come, or when the high from them fades away? If we rely solely on external validations, it can lead to a fragile sense of self, one that's constantly needing to be reinforced. This kind of worth is conditional, dependent on things that can change or disappear. True worth, however, is not dependent on any external condition. It's not about what we do, have, or present to the world. It's about who we are at our core. It's about recognizing the value that has been within us all along, untouched by external measures or standards. When we focus too much on what others expect or what society deems successful, we begin to lose touch with our intrinsic value. Our worthiness is not a result of accomplishments. It's a reflection of our very being. Recognizing this can be liberating, as it frees us from the relentless pursuit of approval and opens the door to self-acceptance. By acknowledging that our worth is unchanging and inherent, we allow ourselves to connect with a deeper part of who we are, a part that's rich with potential, love, and resilience. This realization can be life-changing, as it grounds us in a sense of self that is steady, resilient, and true. When we look at those who seem to have achieved everything society tells us we should aspire to, high-paying jobs, wealth, status, it's not uncommon to find that many of them still feel an emptiness, a gnawing sense that something is missing. This is a phenomenon that can be seen across cultures and generations. People who have seemingly made it often find themselves facing a void, a sense of dissatisfaction that no amount of success or money can fill. Despite their outward accomplishments, many realize that the things they once believed would bring happiness have only added layers of superficiality to their lives, leaving them feeling more disconnected than ever. The emptiness that many successful people feel isn't a flaw or a failure on their part. It's a symptom of a deeper issue. Often this disconnect arises because they've spent years chasing goals that are not aligned with their true selves. They've lived according to society's rules and checked all the right boxes, but they've never paused to consider what they genuinely want from life or what truly fulfills them. The paradox of success is that, while it brings external validation, it doesn't necessarily bring internal peace. The sense of accomplishment that comes with achieving these external milestones is often temporary, and when it fades, it can leave behind a haunting sense of discontent. This realization can be disorienting as it calls into question the very foundations upon which they've built their lives. It can be painful to face the fact that despite all their hard work and achievements, they still feel unfulfilled. But this awareness can also serve as a powerful catalyst for change. It's a reminder that true fulfillment cannot be found in external accomplishments alone. It encourages a reevaluation of priorities and values, guiding people back toward a life that resonates with their inner truth. This kind of awakening can be a gift, as it allows them to break free from the chains of superficial success and begin the journey toward genuine happiness and connection. Sometimes this inner restlessness we feel, the sense that something's missing or that we're meant for something more, isn't a sign of dissatisfaction, but a call from our soul. It's as if our deepest self is whispering, reminding us of why we came here and urging us to remember our purpose. This feeling isn't a mistake. It's an invitation to reconnect with the part of ourselves that knows our true path. When we ignore this call, life can start to feel monotonous, as if we're just going through the motions without any real meaning. But when we pay attention, when we dare to listen to this inner voice, we begin to rediscover our purpose, a purpose that is unique to us and meant to guide us on our journey. This calling can take many forms. It might appear as a subtle sense of discontent, a desire for change, or even a longing for something unknown. It's not always clear or easy to interpret, but it's persistent, gently pushing us toward our true selves. Often, this is where we find our most authentic desires, the dreams and aspirations that have been buried under years of conditioning and expectation. Listening to this call requires courage, as it may lead us down paths that feel unfamiliar or even challenging. Yet these are often the very paths that hold the greatest rewards, bringing us closer to a life that feels aligned, meaningful, and true to who we are. Answering the call of our soul doesn't mean abandoning everything we know or turning away from our responsibilities. It's about finding a balance, one where we can honor our obligations while still making space for our passions, dreams, and purpose. When we live in alignment with our true selves, life begins to take on a new depth and richness. The things we once pursued for validation lose their hold on us, and we find fulfillment in the moments, relationships, and experiences that resonate with our spirit. This is the journey of returning to our essence, of honoring the sacredness of our path, and of living a life that reflects who we truly are. Consider those who have chosen unconventional paths: digital nomads, minimalists, passionate entrepreneurs. They've chosen authenticity over society's standards, prioritizing their well-being and purpose over conventional success. While this path requires courage and sometimes sacrifice, it leads to a life rich with meaning and true joy. For them, success isn't about accumulation. It's about fulfillment, alignment, and the present moment. Imagine looking back on your life in decades to come. Will you feel satisfied with your choices? Or will you wish you had taken more risks, listened to your heart, and followed your passions? Life shouldn't be a countdown to weekends, holidays, or retirement. Every day holds potential for joy and fulfillment if you choose to live in alignment with your values and honor your unique journey. Living authentically doesn't mean you must reject the material world or abandon your responsibilities. It's about redefining success on your terms, balancing obligations with nurturing your spirit, and making choices that resonate with your core. Listen to that inner voice, even when it guides you toward the path less traveled. While it may not be the easiest path, it's the one that brings the deepest fulfillment. Thank you for watching. If this resonates with you, please share your thoughts or what you'd add. Wishing you a beautiful journey forward.